Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to pull back the curtain on something that pretty much every modern business totally depends on, but, most of us never actually see. We are talking about IT infrastructure.
I mean, just think about your average day at work. You're firing off emails in Outlook, you're crunching numbers in QuickBooks, maybe pulling up a sales forecast. You are constantly using your company's core software. For a lot of us, those applications are the job.
But have you ever just stopped and wondered, what's happening behind the screen? What's the invisible web that connects your laptop to the main company's servers, letting you grab that Word doc or customer file in like a split second?
Well, that's exactly where IT infrastructure comes in. And honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to think of it like a massive digital highway system, the actual roads that connect every single part of your business. So what's this digital highway actually made of? Well, it's the whole collection of physical stuff, the cables, the routers, the switches, and the servers, all working together. That's the infrastructure part. It's the physical foundation that links all your company's computers and lets data zoom around.
And look, if the hardware is the road, then all the software we use every single day, Outlook, QuickBooks, you name it, those are the vehicles. When you go to open a file, you're basically sending a little car down that highway to go fetch it from a central server and bring it right back to your screen.
Now, that all sounds fantastic when it's working smoothly. But what happens when that highway system is just poorly designed? What if the roads just weren't built for the amount of traffic they need to handle?
Well, the result is exactly what you'd expect on a real-life highway: chaos. Total congestion, information gets stuck in a massive traffic jam, and productivity just grinds to a halt.
And usually this kind of failure comes in two main flavors. On one hand, you can be over-engineered. That's like building a massive 8-lane superhighway for a tiny, quiet neighborhood. It's just a colossal waste of money. Or, and this is way more common, you can be under-engineered. And that's like trying to connect two huge, bustling cities with a single dirt road. It is an absolute recipe for a digital disaster.
And believe me, those digital traffic jams have real-world costs. When you're sitting there waiting minutes for a simple Word file to open or for the sales app to finally load, productivity just tanks. Employee frustration goes through the roof, and your company's overall efficiency just plummets.
So, how do you avoid this digital gridlock? Well, it all comes down to building the right kind of highway from the very beginning, using the right core components.
A really well-designed network has a few key parts, and our highway metaphor, it just works perfectly. The cables and the Wi-Fi, that's the pavement itself. The routers and switches, they act like the intersections, directing all the traffic to the right place. The servers are the destinations, the big cities where all the information lives. And, so important, you've got security patrols like firewalls and antivirus to keep out bad actors. And a central traffic control system, the domain controller that decides who's allowed on which roads in the first place.
But here's the thing that really separates a good infrastructure from a truly great one. It's not just about handling today's traffic. It's about designing for the future. It's about planning for your company's growth.
And the way you do that is through something called a modular design. So instead of building this rigid, unchangeable system, you create a flexible foundation. That way, as your company gets bigger and you need more power, you can just easily add new lanes to your highway without having to tear the whole thing down and start over. You can scale up without losing that critical speed and performance.
So what's the ultimate payoff for putting in the effort to build a really solid digital highway? Well, it really boils down to two things: speed and growth.
At the end of the day, this is the experience we all want, right? When you click something, you want it to happen now. A solid infrastructure is what makes that happen. It feels fast, quick, and efficient.
So when you put it all together, the benefits are just crystal clear. You get that raw speed, which makes work feel effortless. That naturally leads to better efficiency. A well-designed system is also way easier to keep secure. And, maybe most importantly, it creates that foundation for seamless growth. So you're not stuck rebuilding your digital highway every couple of years.
And this is a total game changer for businesses with more than one location. A great IT infrastructure can centralize all the company's data, so the entire network feels like one single, unified system. An employee in one city can grab data from a server in another city and not even realize they're crossing physical locations. It just works.
So I guess that leaves us with one final big question to think about. Consider your own company's network, that invisible system you rely on every single day. Is it a frustrating maze of dirt roads and bottlenecks, or is it a wide-open highway built for